My physique went from this to this, and bodyweight exercises like dips and pull-ups will make you achieve the same. In this video, I will teach you how I taught my brother and how you will achieve your first ever dip, and how you will after that be able to make or do 10 dips. The dip is like the upper body squat. You train lower chest, you train front delts, and your tricep. All the biggest muscle groups in the upper body. But before you even try to do a dip, you need to be able to do 10 push-ups. If you don't do this, you won't be able to even start with the progressions. So make sure you get that. The second important thing after you can do 10 pull-ups is to find the right rack. You can do dips in rings, on straight bars, but what I recommend is that you just do dips in a normal dip bar. You need to be able to have shoulder-wide grip, and what is really important is that the bar isn't too thick. Otherwise, you will hurt your wrist because you want the bar to lay right on the bone. This will both be able to use your forearms to bring strength to the tricep, but it will also ensure that you don't hurt your wrist and that you then can't go gym at all, don't do dips or whatever. So make sure you find a bar, a dip bar that is about the shoulder width of you and isn't too thick, so you can lay in the bar between your hands and right on the bone. This can be quite uncomfortable in the beginning, but as like I said, it's really important that you do this so you don't injure yourself. After that, the most important thing, you can do all the exercises I'll tell you right now, but if you don't do them with intensity, you won't see any progress after all. So everything I will tell you here, do it with intensity, train to failure, till you can't do no more. Some exercises I will tell you, you will not go to absolute failure, you'll be about 1 rep away. But in everything where I don't say anything, just train to absolute failure and you'll see the fastest progress. Alright, let's begin. So, we'll begin with finding, the first 2 sessions, we'll begin with finding a good dip bar, finding the right grip, getting comfortable with having the bar. You'll be quite uncomfortable in the beginning, and just holding a position. And what most people do is this, sagging like that. We don't want to do that. We want to use your traps and your shoulder blades to bring ourselves up, because we always need to be in that position during a dip. So we begin with strength in that. You also flex your abs, brace your core, because we will need to do that under a dip as well. And we'll do this. Let's do the thing we do for the first 2 sessions. Just comfortable with the grip, find a good bar, and just be able to hold your own body weight. After that, we'll start with the leg assisted dip. For this you will need a quite low dip bar, but often dip bars have a stance where you jump up. This way you will have your legs, like in this clip. And what you'll do is you will slowly go down, but you will put a lot of weight on your legs, making less work for shoulders, tricep and chest. And you'll just do a whole dip, so take it really slowly, slow and controlled, and slowly after time use less and less and less assistance from your leg to build tricep, front delt and chest strength. So when you want to do this, you begin with this. So first 2 sessions, get comfortable with everything, with the position and your abs and core, and then you will do this. You will begin with this exercise right here, the leg assisted, and you will do this 5 times 2 to 3 reps, and really take it slow and controlled. But most of us watching this, you are skinny, and most of us, we don't even need this because we are so light, we can probably already very close to dip. So if you feel like you're really light and you can basically do that dip, you're really close, just skip this leg exercise. This is for people who aren't even close to being able to do a dip. So what we'll do instead is the negative dip. So you get in the position we did in the first 2 sessions, and then you will slowly go down. And we will go down till about the elbows and the shoulders hit a point of 90 degrees parallel. And that is enough. If you go further down that, it's a very high risk of you injuring yourself sooner or later. So we don't go further down than that. And then you can use your legs to push yourself up. And then just do another rep. So it's partial leg assisted, but you will go down without any help of the legs or anything, not assisted anything, is slowly down, slow and controlled, and then use your legs to push yourself up. And this will also do 5 times, between 2 to 6, 7, 8 reps. And here's really important that you are doing it slow, no rushing it, slow and controlled, because the longer you're on the negative, the more muscle you will build, the more strength you will build for the real dip later. What you also can do is, if you have one in the gym, is an assisted dip machine. This can work really great, but one negative of them is that they take away the stability moment. You don't need to really flex your abs, you don't need to use your traps and shoulder blades, because if you do a lot of machine assisted dips, you will lose the strength from those muscles, and that it will be even harder to even try to learn how to do a normal dip. So what I recommend is doing even more negatives, and is doing it 2 to 3 times a week instead. But you can also do a couple sets of assisted dip machine if you want to, but not too much, and don't focus about it. It's not a priority. So do the negatives more, because they will always build up the stabilizing muscles in the back and in the arms and traps and neck and so on. So if you're thinking about doing or using the assisted dip machine, I recommend doing no more than 3 sets and about 2 to 6 reps. And the negatives will do between 5 to 6 sets and also 2 to 6 reps. And after you can do that many reps, slow and controlled, you will be able to do at least 1 dip. And we can do between 1 and 3 dips. It was really easy to build up to 10 dips. So after that, we will do 4 times max reps of dips. This means that you'll do as many reps as you possibly can, but you will not train to failure. You'll be about 1 rep away from absolute failure. Because if you do the first set and go to absolute failure, you do maybe 2 reps. And after that, because you've gone to failure, your muscles are so fatigued and tired that you won't be able to do a second set, or third set, or fourth set. So the first 3 sets, we will do as many reps as we possibly can. But when you feel like you can't do another rep, you stop. But on the last set, the 4th set, you go all in to absolute failure. And one tip I always tell in my paid community, the Aesthetic Blueprint, is that they should focus on the form, especially in the beginning. As many beginners, they want to learn a dip, and they sacrifice form to be able to learn the dip maybe for 1 week faster. But after then, 2 or 3 weeks, they can do 5 dips now. They injure their shoulder or elbow, and then they can't train for a month, and they need to restart the whole process. So please focus on form, do it slow, and just go. And after a couple, 1-2 months, you'll be able to do 10 dips. So please, slow and controlled. And if you want to even get faster progress, my help, and a whole community, check out the first link in the description, the Aesthetic Blueprint. See you there.